Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little get ready with me / story time of a really bad customer experience that I had last night. Yeah, so if you're interested in watching.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
What's up? It is Allie from the future coming back to let you know that this video has been split into 2 parts. Actually, I'm sorry. When I was editing the video, it just turned out to be like super long and I felt bad, so it's gonna be in 2 parts. The first part is what you're watching now. I tell the story of like super crazy table that like sucked so bad and like ugh. And then part 2 is gonna be me talking about another table that sucked, and then 2 good tables that turned my night around. All 4 tables I had in like the same night, so it was just like really rough night. But yeah, so if you want to continue watching, see the first part now, and then the part 2 is probably going to be the next video that I post. If not, it's going to be like super soon, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so this video kind of just ends like suddenly, I guess. I don't know, because like part 2 will be out soon. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and explain that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I really need to get better at these intros. I'm like really bad at them, but it's okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be getting ready for work and telling you about work last night. Dude, it literally sucked. It was one of the worst nights that I've had, like, ever. But yeah, so it basically started out pretty decent. I guess I should say, for those who don't know, I am a server. And it's like at a restaurant. It's like a pretty casual restaurant. So they'll give us like a lot of tables. They don't really have like a limit on like how many we can have, which is like good and kind of like bad. The last restaurant that I worked at, I was a host, so I didn't serve tables, but the servers, they had a 3 table limit, which is like crazy compared to like where I am now, because like we always have like, I feel like I never have less than 4. So it's just kind of like a different atmosphere, I guess. Yeah, so I already had a couple tables. I don't really remember how many I had exactly. Maybe like 2 or 3 at that moment, because we were like pretty slow. One of them was a 6 top though, and they were like pretty decent for a table. Like they were like pretty mellow. They didn't really give me issues. But then I got this 8 top, and it was split between 2 tables. It was a 5 top at one table and then a 3 top at another one. And it was, the 5 top was all adults, and then the table of 3 was all kids, which kind of sucks. Like, I don't really like it when families do that, because I feel like if you're gonna have kids with you, like, they should be sitting with the parents, because like they never know how to order, they don't know what they want, like they're messy, they're chaotic, they don't listen. I don't know, so I just kind of prefer it if you like have kids with you at your table to just like sit with them, you know, not put them at another table. But you know, whatever. So I went over, and they were like pretty chill at first, but I could definitely tell that like they weren't gonna be my favorite to wait on, you know what I mean? Like they were definitely Karens. It was, yeah, there were 3 girls and then 2 boys, but they're all like, you know, like mid-30s, early 40s probably. But like 2 of them were the parents. I'm like so bad at explaining, but like yeah. So like 2 were elderly, and then the other 3 were like late 30s, early 40s. The 2 elderly ones were like the grandparents of the kids and like the parents of like the adults. Yeah, and like instantly, like, you know, I was doing like my like, hi, welcome to like I'm Allie, like, and like the lady cut me off and she's like, Diet Coke. Like they were like that, you know, like they weren't like rude, but they weren't pleasant. But you know, still gotta wait on them. So I was like, okay, yeah, and I got all their orders and everything. And as time goes on, like we got really busy that night. So I already had the 6 top, I had that 8 top, I got another 5 top, and then like, you know, I had a couple like 2 and 3 tops, you know, just like random little tables. And so it kind of got to be a lot. And at one point the 8 top had 2 more people join them, so now they were at 10 top. And then, you know, I was getting all my other tables, and I was starting to need help from like one of the hosts had to help me a little bit like with running food and drinks, because your girl was busy. And yeah, so, and then like the 10 top now is complaining about like how long they've been waiting. They said that they were waiting for 40 minutes. They were not waiting for 40 minutes. But yeah, you know, like I'm not gonna argue with them. So I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, you know, like your food's gonna be up any second now. Like, you know, like we are a little busy right now. You know, larger parties take a little bit longer for the food to come out, you know. And yeah, so they were not waiting for 40 minutes, but you know. And then they order more food. Yeah, so then when the food does come out, the girls' pasta was supposed to be without tomatoes. Came out with tomatoes. That was my fault. You know, so like I said sorry, and I knew it wasn't gonna take long for them to get her new pasta. Like it's just pasta. So I was like, yeah, like, you know, like I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna go have the kitchen remake it for you. It'll only take a minute. Would you like me to leave this pasta here for you just so you can, you know, pick at it for like the minute or two that it takes so you don't have to go without food? Because it's not like the tomatoes were everywhere. There weren't like 1,000 tomatoes, but like I get it. You don't want tomatoes. They're gonna fix it for you. Do you want to keep it for the next 2 minutes so you can eat like a, you know, like you can still pickle around it. You can eat the shrimp, you can eat the noodles. And she was like disgusted by me saying that. She was like, no, and she like shoved it into me, and I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so I went and got her pasta fixed, and you know, all was fine. And then a couple minutes later they had more people coming, and I was like, great. Like it was just like annoying because like you want your tables, you know, like you want to like let them enjoy themselves, you want to let them eat, have a good time, talk with everybody at the table, but like you don't want them to be there all night, you know what I mean? Like you want to turn your tables, and it also, like, the computer keeps track of how many tables I have in a night and how fastly like I get them to like, you know, like turn over. And so it honestly ends up looking bad for me when they're using up all my tables in my section. They were already using 2 tables, and then they had more people come, so it turned into an 11 top. And now they were using 3 tables. And by the way, they got there at 6 p.m. They didn't leave until 9:30. That's 3.5 hours. But yeah, so fast forward, it was just crazy, like dealing with them and all my other tables. But they were also like so needy. Like every 2 minutes they needed refills. Every 2 minutes they needed sauce. Like if you know that you want honey mustard, ranch, salt, pepper, like don't be like when I come up and say like, can I get anything else for you? Don't tell me one thing, and then when I come back tell me the second thing, and then when I come back tell me the third thing. Tell me everything at once. Like why make me do 10,000 trips for your table, acting like you're my only table? So yeah, I was doing so many runs for them, like all over the restaurant, and then I was getting behind all my other tables. And then when they got the 11 top, when they turned into an 11 top and had more people come, they wanted more things, and like they ordered. So anyways, come time for the check, like for the bill. It was so hard to split up that check too. Like it was
so annoying.
Because they kept adding and losing people. People were leaving, people were coming, and then they also kept moving seats, so like it was just hard to tell who was with who and everything, and I'm sure if you're a server you understand that. But yeah, so finally get everything separated, and 2 of them out of the 4 checks pay on the kiosk, because we have like these things at the table, little computers that they can pay. They all told me that they were going to use the kiosk to pay, so the 2 check out. The 3rd one apparently wanted to pay cash, didn't tell me that. So I didn't know, so I didn't ask for the cash. And then like a few minutes later, she's like, can I pay? And I was like, sure. And so I take her cash and I go to my computer to charge her. I don't know how I did it, because I was looking at the screen and I swear I saw her check, but I accidentally used her cash on the person next to her, like on the 4th tab. And I didn't know. So then I brought her change, and yeah. So I brought her change, and a minute later, because the 4th tab wanted to order more drinks, because they were like, oh, can we order 2 more drinks and then we'll take our check? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And so yeah, when I go back to ring in their drinks, I realize the cash thing, that I did it on the wrong check, and I freak out. I'm like almost crying. I didn't want to go tell them because they already were so mad at me. Like they were giving me so much attitude the whole night because I was not going fast enough and I was taking too long, and like the food was taking too long. Like literally, like I could not please them. So I went up to my manager and I was like, hey, listen, like you're gonna have to go up to this table, tell them what I did. Like I can't do it. Like they're gonna yell at me. Like I can't. I'm sorry. So you know, he takes one for the team, and he goes up and he does it. He like tells them, and then he like goes back to the computer and then fixes it, brings her, or I think he brought her back the change, yeah. And then I go up to bring the drinks to the fourth tab couple, and obviously I looked at the girl that I gave the wrong change to, and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry about that, like that was a mix-up on my end. She wouldn't even look at me, and I was like, okay, good deal, whatever, I don't like you either. I didn't say that, but I was like, okay, cool. And yeah, so honestly at this point I wasn't expecting a tip at all from them, even though like they had fine service. Like they waited a little bit long for their food, not as long as what they were saying, but like if you're an 8 top it turns into a 10 top and then turns into an 11 top, like you're literally like you're gonna wait a little bit for your food, especially during a rush. And then also sure, like I messed up your pasta, you got it fixed within like 2 minutes, you know what I mean? And also you stayed for 3.5 hours. Like I'm sorry, but like dude, yeah, so they suck. Anyways, yeah, so I'm honestly not expecting anything at this point, but then they pay or whatever, and after they leave I like look at my computer and see what they left. The first 2 that tipped online, they gave me 10% each, which I was honestly surprised they left me anything with their attitudes. And do I think that they should have left me more? Yeah, of course I do. I don't think you should tip only 10% in general, like, because their service wasn't bad, and then also like you stayed for almost 4 hours. Like I think you should tip me a little bit more for using up my table for that long and running me around like a dog. But you know, whatever. And then the third check, which is the girl that I gave back the wrong change and then fixed it like 2 minutes later, she didn't leave me anything, so that's cool. And then the fourth check, the one that came at the end, they ended up tipping me 20%. So like, you know, cool, whatever. But still, they all suck. It was literally like, I'm gonna see, I kind of know how much around, close to $200, or if not, it was like $200 of food. And then they tipped me $17, so you know, yeah, I do like that. But yeah, so that really sucked, and I was in a really bad mood, like kind of all night, just from them. Like they were being so rude to me, they were being rude to the other server that was on. Like literally everybody knew, like they're table 5, like everybody kept referring like, oh, table 5, like yeah. And it was just rough, and then they left a huge mess like from their kids, which of course I had to stay and clean up. And like because of the rush that we got last night, like I was there until midnight. I don't think I've ever been there that late. Like it was awful. And then but I also, there was 2 other tables that I want to talk about from last night, and I have them both at the same time as that table.